Okay.
Hold it down. Bring your hands down a little.
Yep.
Down. Okay. Bit more. Okay, that's good.
Okay. Hi Tom. Hi Robin. How are you? You okay?
I left you. Oh, you're taking a video of this. Okay.
Yes, I take a
Oh, okay.
video. I take a video. So my first question is, why did you choose Italy in this pandemic period?
Oh, very good question. A lot of countries were closed to people traveling from North America, and Italy actually had arranged, the Italian government had arranged a program with Air Canada to have something called a COVID tested flight.
Uh-huh.
So as long as people had tests that were all right, they were allowed to come to Italy. They didn't demand that we had vaccinations. And even though we did have vaccinations, the EU did not approve at that time our version of AstraZeneca vaccine, which came from India. So this Air Canada program called a COVID-tested flight, which allowed certain flights in from Toronto and Montreal to come into the country. And at the same time, we would use that COVID test in Italy to come back to Canada. So it was a little bit of extra work, but Italy was, good in opening up to people that were willing to get the test, because otherwise we'd be sort of caught in the politics of these different vaccines that were being accepted. So that's why we chose Italy, but probably first and foremost because we've been to Italy cycling with your tour company. This is probably our 5th trip, and we really enjoyed Italy, and we really liked your tour company. So 2 reasons. One, because it was possible to get there, and the other reason was because we wanted to go there.
Okay, good.
But certainly during the pandemic, it was a little more challenging.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
The second question, how was your flight? I mean, how was your experience and your flights with your airline company? I mean, coming from Canada and back to Canada from Rome.
It was a good flight, if I understand you correctly in what you're asking. They were not yet very full with the flight number of people.
Hang on, our flight was full.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, so we had a great flight. We actually flew in premium economy, so we paid a few extra dollars to have a more comfortable, experience on the flight. Checking in was not a problem. The check-in people were good in asking for our vaccination and our testing information. So that's, that made it possible for us to get on the plane. The flight was actually full, but the service was excellent. It was a direct flight to Rome. So absolutely no complaints. The thing that we did learn is, because all the work was done in Toronto before boarding the flight, when we arrived in Rome, there was no extra, line up at customs or immigration for paperwork, because that had already been cleared in Toronto before getting on the flight. And at the same time, coming home to Canada, the Air Canada agents, checked for our vaccine information and our Italy COVID test as we checked in at the airport, and that was all done. So it was, smooth sailing to get back on the flight. So it was good.
Good. And the last question, I mean, last but not least, tell me something about your bike trip in Italy. Was a nice experience, or was shortly? Okay.
Okay. There'd be a few parts to this answer. Overall, it was an excellent trip. It was an Italy coast to coast trip. The ride itself was challenging, and that's what we wanted. We wanted some hills. Even at our age, we can still climb some hills. It was extremely scenic. It was a great variety of hills, or a great variety of terrain and routes. So it was never boring. The roads were quiet, not a lot of traffic, and they were good quality roads themselves. So that was the route itself. Rob, you can talk maybe about the hotels, the accommodation, the food.
I really enjoyed the careful attention to all of the places that we stayed, the accommodation, from the agro-tourismo locations. They were very well equipped, and then the historic B&Bs were lovely. Two of the amazing hotels that you had, the 4-star hotels that we were accommodated in. It was absolutely stunning. And the associated regions that we traveled through had wonderful cuisine, authentic Italian cuisine. So we were never at a loss to find some place to eat, whether we were en route or even at the end of the day. We had wonderful choices for menus and restaurants. So it was wonderful.
Food was good, the wine was great, and the beer was cold.
Okay, thank you guys.
Also, just one last thing: the support from the team, even though it was a self-guided tour, was great. So, if ever any issues were to arise, we know the guys were there. If we needed them, and the bicycles were, excellent as well.
Good. Okay, thank you guys. Until the next time.
Okay.
That's right.
So, Beppy, what do you do?